Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello guys, this is Mohsin Azam. Today we are going to start our 13th lesson of our Excel tutorials. The topic which we will discuss here is reference formulas in Excel. This is part 2. In part 1 already we discussed index and match functions. So first of all we will start with offset function followed by row and rows, column and columns. So offset. Offset function takes 5 arguments. What are the arguments? First is the reference, the second row, then column, then height and width. Height and width are the optional arguments. All the arguments in the square brackets are optional. So in any function, if you have any argument with these brackets, square brackets, it will be optional for you whether if you are utilizing it in your formula or not. It depends upon you. So we will start with one example. The first example is offset function. We want to use the offset function but without offset. So what we will do, we will click equal to and then we will write our function as offset, click tab. Now my function will asking me the reference, so I will select here the reference, for example this one. Then I will click comma and then the row I will click here 0, and for the column I will click here 0, and height and width are the optional, so I will not use here, and I will close bracket. By clicking enter it will give me the 90. So in this function, if you see here what we did, we select F12 which is 90, and we ask our offset function that I need the offset of 0 in row and offset of 0 in column. In return it will give me 90. After this, offset in row only. So how it will be, let's see. For example, I will write here again the offset tab, and then I will select my reference as 90, then I will click comma. Now I need in row 1 offset, so I will click here 1, and column I need 0, and the other two optional arguments I will not utilize. Here I will close my bracket, and by clicking enter it will give me 100. What it means that I need the offset of 1 in my row, so it will shift to the lower row, which is, and it will give me in return 100, which is F13. After this, offset in column, same I will write here offset tab, and then I will select my reference, and then I will click row number as 0 and column as 1, so it means I need 1 offset in column. So see here my 90 is now offsetted to G12, which is 100. After this, offset in both column and row, so same offset tab, I will select my reference, so reference again is 90, then 1 and 1, and I will close bracket, so it will give me this 90. One offset in column will be this column, and one offset in row will be this row, so it will be 90 here. Okay, now see here the offset with the other two additional options. So I will write here offset tab, and then I will select my reference as this is my reference, then row as 0, column as 0, and then height. So here I have to select the height. So for the height, for example, if I select here 3 and width is 1, and I will close my bracket. Okay, so it will give us in return the value. But if we use the same offset with 5 arguments with the sum function, what it will return, for example here sum tab and then offset and then tab. Now I will select my reference as 90, then a row is 1 row and column is 0, and now the column height means the number of columns, and row height means the width of the row, and then I will close my bracket. Now it will give us 230. How 230? For example, what we did here, we select here F12, which is this one, then offset by 1 row, so it will come to 100, and after this the column is 0, so after this we need the height of 3 and the width of 1. So it will, what it will give in return, it will give us the sum of these two, 230. From the last two arguments, 3 and 1, what it means, that the height should be 3 cells, and the width should be 1 cell. So from here, as we have the reference from our function is F12 followed by 1 row, so it will give us the reference of this one. But after this, as we select here the height is 3, so it will select the 3 cells, and width is 1, so it will give us the sum of these 3 cells, which is 230. It is clearly displayed here. After this, rows and row. So row function, what it will do, if you click equal to and then write row tab and close the bracket, what in return it will give us the row number belong to this cell, which is row 13. After this, row with cell reference, if you click here row tab and then if you select any cell, for example this one, and by closing bracket, it will give us 9. What it means, F9 is belong to 9 row. And after this, rows. So if you click here rows tab, so now my function is asking me the array. If I select here this entire array and I close my bracket, it will give me 3, because in this entire array there are 3 rows. After this, column and columns. Same as in row, in case of row, if you write here column tab and close the bracket, it will give us 3, because this cell in which we have belong to column number 3. And column with cell reference, if you click here column again, and if you select any cell by closing the bracket, it will give us 6, because this cell is belong to column number 6. This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So this is the 6th column. And now columns with array. So if you click here columns, then tab, and then if you select an array, so this will give us the number of columns in this array, which will be 5, as it's clear from the selection. See, we have count 5, so means the number of columns are 5. So that's it for today's discussion. If you like my video, please follow and like my Facebook page Business Innovation, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.